One of them facing an attempted murder charge in Minneapolis. The chilling moment, Davis Moturi was shot while trimming a tree, captured on camera. Now his neighbor also faces assault, stalking, and harassment charges. Moturi spoke out today from his hospital bed. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
Tonight, a shooting on a Minneapolis front lawn sparking growing questions about why police didn't intervene sooner. Davis Moturi trimming a tree outside his home when gunfire rang out Wednesday. Police say his next-door neighbor pulled the trigger.
It was a very traumatic moment. Not only shot, but shot in your neck, and the people are fighting to save your life.
That neighbor, John Sawchak, now wanted on multiple charges, including attempted murder. According to the complaint, the defendant has made countless other threats and engaged in almost constant harassment of the victim and his wife since they purchased their home in September 2023. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office seeking an extreme risk protection order, noting the suspect's paranoid personality disorder.
We have a suspect who is mentally ill, and now he is known to possess firearms.
The police chief says they've been working to arrest him since at least April.
He refused to come to the door every time. Officers could not even tell if the person was actually home.
And that they're now working around the clock to safely bring him into custody.
We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation. That's not going to happen.
A video of the incident, captured on a home surveillance camera and obtained by CNN affiliate CARE, shows Davis Moturi standing outside, pruning a tree when he suddenly falls to the ground. The alleged shooter, John Sawchak, Moturi's neighbor, surrendered around 1:24 a.m. Monday, following an hours-long standoff with police, O'Hara said at a news conference early Monday. Sawchak has been charged with attempted murder, felony assault, stalking and harassment after allegedly shooting Moturi on Wednesday, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office said in court filings. Sawchak has a hearing scheduled in Hennepin County Court Tuesday, court records show. It's unclear whether he has retained an attorney. Sawchak allegedly shot Moturi in the neck as Moturi trimmed a tree near their shared property line. In the criminal complaint, prosecutors called the shooting racially motivated. In the year leading up to the shooting, Sawchak, who is white, verbally harassed Moturi, who is black, on multiple occasions, including using racially charged language during an incident in October 2023 and calling Moturi a black bastard in May, according to the criminal complaint. Moturi was hospitalized with a fractured spine, 2 broken ribs and a concussion, according to authorities. The criminal complaint says the gunshot appears to have a downward trajectory, entering through the victim's neck and fracturing his spine and at least 2 ribs. Moturi spoke to CARE from his hospital bed, saying he feels police failed to protect his family by not arresting Sawchak sooner. The Moturi family had called police to report at least 19 incidents of vandalism, property destruction/theft, harassment, hate speech, verbal threats and threatened physical assaults, according to the criminal complaint. I don't call the police for fun. I call because I want my family to be safe, Moturi told CARE. Moturi's wife told investigators Sawchak often observed them from a second-story window inside his home, according to the complaint. She told police that in the past week the defendant told the victim, "Touch my tree again and I'll kill you," according to the complaint. Sawchak threatened Moturi on multiple occasions, including flashing a large knife from a second-floor window of his home and threatening to kill Moturi and his wife, the complaint said. Ultimately, what precipitated the shooting was the cutting of a tree that this individual had planted with his mother, who apparently he had a very deep attachment to, O'Hara said after the arrest. O'Hara on Sunday acknowledged his department failed to protect Moturi. That should not have happened to him, he said. Sawchak had a history of harassing, threatening and attacking his neighbors dating to at least 2016 and had 3 active arrest warrants for previous threats against multiple neighbors, including Moturi when the shooting occurred, court records show. A verified GoFundMe raising money for Moturi's recovery says the harassment started shortly after the couple bought their home in September 2023.
Tonight, he is in the hospital with a bullet near his spine. He says that he spent months asking for some kind of police action against the accused gunman. Now he is demanding answers. Our Jason Ransela has a story you'll see only on WCCO.
Davis Moturi says he was doing yard work outside his South Minneapolis home Wednesday afternoon when he was struck.
I'm in the hospital today because my neighbor shot me.
Moturi is now in the ER at HCMC, with a bullet stuck near his spine. Moturi says this all stems from a problem neighbor and began ever since he moved in just over a year ago. He says the man started making threats,
saying like, hey, if you touch that tree, things are gonna come down on you, things are gonna happen to you.
And made racist comments.
Ghetto like you. All you're thinking is unilaterally ghetto thinking.
Things escalated from there. Everything from excrement.
He ended up dumping human waste through my mail slot.
To sounding air horns and screaming late at night. Moturi says while police have been out numerous times, nothing has been done. This is what he said an MPD commander told him.
She informed me that she didn't want to put her officers at risk.
He says the violent attacks and threats continued, from pointing knives and guns to an attack with a shovel, even threatening his wife Caroline. Moturi says he's reached out to the police chief, mayor, city council members, even the Department of Human Rights, but nothing has happened.
So hopefully we can get something going, because it's clear that me calling everybody and anybody hasn't really done much.
He's now hoping that this attack that could very well have taken his life is what it will take to finally get some justice.
Not only for me, but there's other people around the neighborhood who have been victims.
Now, police told us there was, quote, limited information available about the shooting, and they're still investigating what led up to it. Moturi says he doesn't know when he'll get out of the hospital and doesn't know if or how the bullet will be removed.
Man is in custody accused of shooting and injuring a neighbor who was outside doing yard work. John Sawchak faces charges of attempted murder, stalking, assault, and harassment.
Now, these neighbors have been involved in a long dispute. Renee Cooper's live now with more on why the man who was shot says he is infuriated by the way police responded. Renee?
Yeah, the warrant for those charges was filed last week, a day after Davis Moturi was allegedly shot by his neighbor, John Sawchak. Moturi says Sawchak has been an issue for a year. He's been living in fear of his neighbor for a year, and Moturi was able to return home today now that Sawchak is in custody.
Looking forward to being able to recover and safety and peace in my home.
Davis Moturi and his wife pulling into the driveway of their home at last. How are you feeling?
Relieved that John's finally where he needs to be. Sadly, I had to come to this after so many times of trying to get help.
This video captured the moment on Wednesday when Moturi was shot outside of his home. He says he was discharged from the hospital Saturday, but has been staying with a relative since.
I couldn't come home because, the man who tried to murder me was next door. Cops didn't seem to be doing anything, so disappointing.
Next door, police still processing Sawchak's home after an hours-long overnight standoff.
At about 1:24 a.m., he emerged from the rear of the residence and surrendered.
Police Chief Brian O'Hara standing with Mayor Jacob Fry, defending why the arrest didn't come until a year after Moturi started calling police with concerns.
This is an example of what de-escalation looks like and how we strive for every day peacefully resolving situations.
What we had tonight was an extraordinarily dangerous situation. You have an individual with mental illness, likely possessing firearms, with knowledge of explosive devices, and all this happening in a residential area. Our officers did this the right way.
I'm still very upset about that. What the police did. And, I got a bullet in my back, my spine, actually. Broken bones.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Like, comment, and subscribe. The GoFundMe for Davis Moturi is down below.